What's up, everybody? It's Heems. And guys, I just had to do this review really quick. To anybody, if you haven't had a chance, I strongly recommend that you watch episode 18 and episode 19 of Dragon Ball Daima. Before we go further, as a disclaimer, spoiler alerts, but literally just from episode 18 to watch Goma start to use his powers. And well, before that, Goku was fighting a Do and going Super Saiyan. And you could see like literally like the fight was like neck and neck between them, even with Goku as a Super Saiyan and Majin Do. Then you literally see Goma throw a blast that immediately cuts out or cancels out the attack in their clash. And already from there, you get this feeling like Goma's going to be a problem. And they literally had all the characters, like everybody was squad up. You had Vegeta, you had Piccolo, you had Glorio, you had Supreme Kai, Dooku, don't rhyme, don't hit the play, don't hit the bars. Star Wars. But anyway, all of them are fighting. Even one of the Tenagamis actually came through, and like everybody was like giving it their all. Or, for the most part, everybody was still like, because Vegeta was Super Saiyan and Goku was Super Saiyan, but still, it was a good fight. Everybody was giving it their best. And at one point, though, you see everybody down. So then, like, the ending to that is Goku literally going all the way, going Super Saiyan 3, while both the Tenigami and I think Glory was, like, trying to, like, block off the attack before it hit, or somebody else, bear with me if I forgot some of the characters. And after that, he goes Super Saiyan 3, the iconic Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta's still like laid out, which I was kind of disappointed because I was like, I wanted that opportunity to see like, two Super Saiyan 3s like going back to back. But it was still cool to finally get the iconic Goku. They saved his part for last. Nonetheless, I still enjoy Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 transformation. That is absolute top tier. It was well deserved, and it answered the age-old question that we all wanted, or at least speaking for myself, and that is now to finally have that canon, which is going to be interesting as far as how that goes with Super. But anyway, he's going Super Saiyan 3. He's going back and forth, shot for shot, and it looks like it's actually doing damage to Goma. Everybody's getting their hits in. Vegeta, is doing the best he can, but then at one point he's like down. He can't get up no more. And then like Goma delivers this like attack that like knocks Goku down. And then I forget the name of the Namek. So to clear everybody out there, bear with me and help me if you can. Comes over, does some kind of like a magic, and like he's encased in some kind of like, it was like this water. But then it showed like the veins and like, everything. And then they do something that I never would have thought in a million years, because I've seen thumbnails on it. I've seen other people make mention of it. And you're like, everybody's trolling or everybody, but whoever did that, they freaking called it, because Goku went Super Saiyan 4. What I like about this version of Super Saiyan 4, it still to me has a touch of like a bit of Dragon Ball Super, in that sense of the Super Saiyan God type color, with that kind of a darkish, kind of a red, a burgundy kind of red. It wasn't the typical Super Saiyan 4 of, if you guys remember from GT, of the black hair, the red fur, but it was still pretty much everything you could ask for, though. The red fur, the red eyes, even the way they even did his design, it almost gave it like that like primal kind of look, even like with his forearms. His forearms was actually a little bit larger than normal. And then there was certain animations where he was like kind of like climbing. And he literally was doing work on Goma. He was doing work. And they gave us another tribute to GT, and that was him doing the double or the 10 times Kamehameha. And you actually saw, first it was the blue, and as he's charging up, Goma's not wasting any time, and he hits him, and then you see that blue flash. I was like, he's probably just baiting this, like, he's like building up the curveball still, and yes, he did. He flipped it and did the Khmer wave, which in a weird way, looking at that now, it kind of gave me a little bit of like Super with his Ultra Instinct doing the command wave, except of course, you know, he was actually moving around when he was doing it. But it was like the concentration aspect of it, you know, because even in Super, he had to still be able to move his body, but yet concentrate to still be able to provide that kind of blast. But to take that beating and that flip and yet to still be able to pull through with it was really cool. And then you see in the end, it's like you're thinking like, okay, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is like, you know, standing over the crater, you know, expecting like this to be over. And then Goma's powers get into a whole nother scale. He's like 10 times huge. His hand was bigger than the almost damn near the whole platform. Then he actually like does something where he puts Goku in like this kind of telekinesis ball where he actually like deforms him, literally going the countdown from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 and then normal and then left it. And then it cuts to Glorio and his communication with Anisu. And she's like, you know, basically bring the Dragon Balls over. Starts to make the wish. Then you see Purunga or their version of their Shenron. And I like that one too, because they gave that the Namekian version of the Dragon Balls. And I like even how they tied it, because if you remember even like in TFS, that's always been a thing. Like, you know, they were Slug. He was like, no, I thought you were a demon. No, Slug, man. Oh, how mundane. To anybody if they remember that reference. But to actually that they were demons, and yet to be able to use the original dragon that they used for the Dragon Balls from Planet Namek was a nice touch. But I also like the fact that they did the red. And I don't know, maybe I'm overreaching to anybody out there, or if you felt that theory, let me know. But I think all that was like a nice little love letter to GT, because it was basically similar to like the Black Star Dragon. And then you see at one point after the wish was, or as they summon the dragon, Goma sees it. He's like, charges up, and he literally like flicks off Goma. So it's like, well, how freaking powerful is this dragon in this world? Like, how strong is it to be able to flick Goma, who at this point, you know, is just about capable of just about anything with his power? And then, you know, Anissa forces him to make the wish, and then like you see the dragon make the wish, you see everything shattered, and then that's the end of it. So we're left to wonder what happens next at this point. One thing I do want to point out, and it actually brought up a theory too, because if you remember relating to the third eye, imagine what would have happened if Deborah actually would have had that eye, how much power he would have truly had. Because at that point in that fight, Goku was going toe-to-toe from a Super Saiyan 3, but then there was that moment where Goku like couldn't do anymore. At least when he was fighting against Kid Buu, he fought all the way to the end. He powered down for a minute, but then he got back into it. And then he fought until he was like, you know, just completely, when he was trying to recharge after letting Vegeta come in to take the fight for the moment. But it was like, after a while, like, you could clearly see where Goku was dominated in that fight in his Super Saiyan 3 form. So it made me wonder at that point, if Deborah did have that third eye, could he have either been as strong as Kid Buu, or in this case, since he overpowered, you know, even Goku Super Saiyan 3, maybe even on par with a Super Buu. So that's an interesting theory in and of itself. I definitely want to see if they, because they even had the bugs for like even like fusion temporarily. That's just a theory, but I would love if they do it. I don't know if they will. That's probably just if they somehow do like a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta for this, that will like top it. But I think right now we're at the climax. Pause. We're at the climax of the series, because I think the rumor is that it's actually only 20 episodes. So I'm curious, you know, pretty much we just watched 19, so yeah, 20. It's going to be interesting to see like how they wrap this up. Are they going to really wrap up the fight that way, or is it going to be one of those where Glorio teleports them maybe just back to their worlds and make them all forget some kind of way of everything that happened? But it's going to be interesting to see. With that now, I was a fan of Dragon Ball GT, but it was some of the hits and misses, and some of you guys actually gave me videos to watch as far as like power levels, and you know, I think the thing for me, like, it just, certain fights, certain situations. It just was like Goku was just pretty much the number one for everything. You know, nobody had a chance really to shine. And the power levels, the power scaling for me was like all over the place. But overall, like I was a huge fan of Super Saiyan 4 and still am to this day. My first introduction to Super Saiyan 4 was playing Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. That was the window and the glimpse into everything that would happen as far as like both with Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. Because mind you, when my dad bought the game, he bought it around the time like Tree of Might, so just barely scraping the surface of Planet Namek. So you got a chance to see Frieza, Cell, and all these, and then you're looking and it's like, they say Son Goku, wait, Goku has a son? Like, you know, you don't really know all this stuff, like, you know, being a kid, or Super Saiyan 4, or Super Saiyan, you know, what's all these different stuff with Goku, and yet over the years to watch it all take place and then understand it, and then to actually see GT for the first time at that time, like back for me, that was like 2004, like high school, just the start of high school. And then after that, it was cool for me. After I watching it later on again, it was kind of like meh. And then when Super came out, and not to piss any GT fans off, but I know it's going to be some out there. To me, Super superseded, no pun intended, GT, because like the moment they had the form of God or God Key, it was like, well, that pretty much transcends anything, at least as far as my perception, as far as what could be, as far as power for Dragon Ball, or as far as the Dragon Ball arc. But what I like that Akira Toriyama did, though, in closing it, like his like final level and his gift to all of us, was that we actually was able to get that closure. We got a chance to see Vegeta become Super Saiyan 3. And I wrote this, and I even had a voting poll. People said no, but it's official, it's canon, whether you want to or not. Super Saiyan 4 Goku now is officially canon. And to anybody out there, if you want to argue me, just as always, hey, keep it cool and friendly in the comments. But we can agree to disagree, but let me know. But having that from Akira Toriyama, and even saying that with his Super Saiyan 4 design, his design that he did for Daima is actually similar, including like the eye shape and everything, to what his original concept drawing was for the actual Super Saiyan 4 design at that time. I think he had like either some insight and some input into GT, but this was completely like out of his hands. And I'm learning this even like as far as like watching like anime and manga. If it's in the manga along to the anime, then it's pretty much canon, but if it's not there, then it's not. And that's been a fight that everybody's been talking about for years. Now, as far as GT, technically it's a sequel, a direct sequel to the series, but they never did the manga for it or really carried on. But I do like that they finally brought that gap together and like finally closed that chapter of us. Even if, I don't know, they may or may do Dragon Ball GT at some point in time with the predecessor or the person that's going to be taking over on behalf of Akira Toriyama. That would be something interesting that I would like to see. By the way, to anybody out there, if it's not already out by the time this video comes up, I know that they're supposed to be doing the one shot to Dragon Ball Super, and then after that, there are talks of it continuing the story. So after losing one of our most prized treasures of Akira Toriyama, we have a chance to actually be able to continue everything off and see where they take the series and the concept. Maybe it was already pre-written and he's going to reference to it, or maybe he'll put his own spin on it. But I definitely want to see what they're going to do with like Frieza Black and how that series is going to hold up in the end. It was an article I read the other day too, like they were talking about as far as Dragon Ball in general, that Dragon Ball in and of itself is going to be here for a long time. Which of course, you know, with all that he's left as far as his legacy, but as far as like ongoing projects and stuff going forward, there's going to be new stuff, which also, you know, has me excited as well to know that we're going to keep everything going. But yeah, in closing, absolute amazing series. I waited to watch it. I waited damn near until like it got up to like 13 episodes before I actually started watching the series. And some people thought the pace of it was a bit slow here and there, but honestly, overall, super cool, super relaxed. Everything you can ask for as far as a GT. As far as, let's see, now I got GT in here. Damn it. It's official now, y'all broke me. But to have, pretty much the characters and everybody act as they are, and to see the adventure, the growth, the development, even like certain characters of Glorio and so forth, and even seeing that moment for him at the end, because that was the one thing we always wondered with Glorio, is if like what's his end goal besides him serving Nisu. And now we don't know what this wish is going to be, but you see him with the flashbacks of, what was between him and his adventures with everybody, and how this may affect what this wish is going to be. And like I said, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see the merch and what they put out for all of this. I'm definitely going to get the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I think that just did my heart good. The only thing that kills, just like one other thing that kind of kills some things that mixes with Super, and to everybody, you can answer that on your own or what you think. One, when both Kibito and Shin separated. In Super, I remember for a fact they said they wished for through the Super Dragon Balls. But in the Daima, they did it through basically being ingested by Boo. And that was one key thing that I noticed. Another thing is going to be, how are they going to explain the whole Super Saiyan 3 with Vegeta? Because technically, Vegeta never used it in Super. Could it be that, maybe he just chose not to use it because of just the amount of stamina and what it took? Or maybe when he heard that Goku lost to Beerus using Super Saiyan 3 to fill that, maybe perhaps it wasn't the point. I don't know. Maybe he made his second form, his second grade, or Super Saiyan 2 more efficient. We don't know. But for what it's worth, even if everything doesn't all align, I still just liked it overall as a whole. It was definitely a good change of pace. It was definitely a good story to go with, and I definitely look forward to seeing what else they have to offer. To anybody out there, if you have any other suggestions of anime for me to watch, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to work my way through Jujutsu Kaisen. I think I got up to like episode 13 or so. And I just did a Kaiju number 8. I'm hoping they come back with a second season of that. But to anybody else, if you got anything, any suggestions for stuff to check out, I would really love to hear what you guys got to say. To everybody, I hope you don't chew me out as far as like with the GT. No, but yeah, I always, for a long time, I always like in my mind, like GT. I'll say this for me as far as with GT, to keep it short, sweet. I appreciated it for the story that it represented, almost like as if to say an alternate timeline. If Beerus and none of Super was ever introduced, like this is the direction that it could go. And that's cool in its own right. But the moment Super came in, it just kind of was like, okay, yep, let that story be where it is. But I'm definitely right here next to Super. I'm going all the way with Super. But they're both good, but it's now official. We can say that now Super Saiyan 4 is canon, and I hope they do a statue for that. But to everybody, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you stuck around long enough. If you did, and you didn't either throw the phone or anything else, or you didn't just cut off out of boredom, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Share the video. Share the channel on everybody on all social media platforms. Make sure, guys, you drop also links, or even just as far as like with reactions. And once again, if you guys have any suggestions on other animes that I could watch, anything you would like for me to review, let me know in the comments. I would definitely love to hear that from you. And be on the lookout, guys. We got more statues and stuff coming along the way. I got a Broly statue that I'm waiting for. And I don't know if anybody else is interested, but they do have the Golden Ozaru, or the Gold Ape, coming out March 30th on Amazon. I think it's like 80 bucks, but I'm definitely gonna try to cop that. I'll see you guys soon. Peace till the next video and streams.